Because of the crisis that was caused by the financial collapse, we have the highest rate of long-term unemployment in this country since when we first got unemployment insurance, since the Great Depression, since the 30s. There are nearly 6 job seekers for every available job in America right now. One of the most surprising things about politics since the crash happened and since unemployment spiked is how many politicians apparently hate people for being unemployed. Hate the unemployed, or at least they're willing to voice that for political reasons. After you pay for unemployment insurance when you have a job, a bunch of politicians apparently think that you are a leech and a bad person for taking those benefits when you need them.
That's what's happened to us, is that we have put in so much entitlement into our government that we really have spoiled our citizenry and said, you don't want the jobs that are available.
That's Sharon Engel, the Republican running to replace Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid in Nevada. She thinks people on unemployment, as you just heard, are spoiled.
That doesn't create new jobs. In fact, if anything, continuing to pay people unemployment compensation is a disincentive for them to seek new work. That's
Republican Senator John Kyle of Arizona, who thinks people are unemployed because of unemployment insurance. Same reason I burn down my own house regularly, ever since I got the fire insurance. Republican Congressman Steve King of Iowa has a similar take on what the jobless think about being jobless. He offered up this warning about unemployment benefits in February. Quote, "We shouldn't turn the safety net into a hammock. It should actually be a safety net." Republican Congressman Dean Heller of Nevada has a take on unemployment benefits that's twice as derogatory and 17 times as bizarre as that. Here's how a local newspaper reported on Dean Heller's position. Heller said the current economic downturn and policies may bring back the hobos of the Great Depression, people who wandered the country taking odd jobs. Quote, "I believe there should be a federal safety net," Heller said, but he questioned the wisdom of extending unemployment benefits yet again to a total of 24 months, which Congress is doing. Quote, "Is the government now creating hobos?" he asked. If you're out of a job, Congressman Heller thinks you're maybe a hobo. Republican Senator Orrin Hatch of Utah thinks you're even worse than that.
You know, we should not be giving cash to people who basically are just going to go blow it on drugs.
Senator Hatch actually proposed an amendment to the jobs bill earlier this month to force anyone getting unemployment benefits to submit to a drug test. Because, you know, land of the free and all that. Now pee in this cup. Andre Bauer, the Republican Lieutenant Governor of South Carolina, compared people on assistance famously earlier this year to stray animals.
My grandmother was not a highly educated woman, but she told me as a small child to quit feeding stray animals. You know why? They never breed. Because they breed. You're facilitating the problem. If you give an animal or a person ample food supply, they will reproduce. Especially one that don't think too much further than that. And so what you've got to do is you've got to curtail that type of behavior. They don't know any better.
We've got the worst long-term unemployment in this country since the Great Depression. This is going to have repercussions in our country and in our culture for generations. The political leadership we're seeing on the right in response to that call the unemployed animals, drug test them, call them bums, say they're only out of a job because they're lazy and they want to be. Insult, insult, insult. And to add real injury to all of that insult, today every Republican in the Senate, plus our friend Ben Nelson, blocked a vote on a bill to provide badly needed help to the long-term unemployed in this country. And as a result, starting tomorrow, more than a million Americans will lose their unemployment benefits. This might sound like something you've heard before. This is the sort of thing that's been knocking around in and out of the headlines for months now. And it's true. It's because Republicans have blocked extensions of unemployment benefits before. It's kind of been a Republican hobby horse lately. But in the past, the measure has always been saved at the last minute. That didn't happen this time. Senate Republicans and Ben Nelson really are cutting off the benefits for 1.2 million unemployed people and probably tossing at least some of them out on the street. And as an added bonus, they're giving up the opportunity to stimulate the economy in the most efficient way we know how. Ta-da!